Hi, Sonia. My name is Anna, A-N-N-A-H, and my last name is Rinaldo, R-I-N-A-L-D-O. So a little bit about me. I am an exercise physiologist. I have roughly over 11 or 12 years of working in a physical therapy setting where I helped people do exercise, and I did exercise prescription for all different types of populations of people. And I have a bachelor's of science in kinesiology from University of Maryland. I'm a corrective exercise specialist from National Academy of Sports Medicine. And I recently, sometime last year, did the PCES course that came up in conversation with the NEM group on Facebook. And so I did this course. So I just want you to see that I have the book. And it was really wonderful. It was eye-opening. It really connected a lot of different things for me when I'm helping people with exercise. And one of the great things about this text is that I can use it with women, all different types of women. So whether they've had a baby or not, and there's actually a lot of good information that's helping some men too. And I like to incorporate a lot of techniques and information that I learned in here into my yoga sessions too. So not everything has pelvic floor exercises in my yoga, but I do try to sneak in some pelvic floor awareness and techniques and different breathing. So one of the things that I talk about a lot is called 360-degree breath, and that's breathing into your back body. So it's all the way around, not just that belly breath out the front. So today I won't go into that or anything, but if you do want to learn more about all of that, we can schedule an appointment. You let me know, and then we can start talking about making a plan for you down the road. But for today's topic, which is diastasis recti and just checking your diastasis recti, I'm sure you probably found videos, you probably found pictures. I'll snap some photos of my text so you can have them to look at. It's important that you know what's happening in the abdominal area. How does it feel to you? How is it supposed to feel according to our anatomical self of way it should be? And then what kinds of things can happen or how it might feel after postpartum. And so one of the things that's interesting is that it's normal to have diastasis recti, the opening of the fascia in the front of the abdominal cavity during pregnancy. That's normal. And so some people, after they have the baby and then they're postpartum, some people don't have the reconnection of that fascia where it comes back together normally. So there are different ways to help those muscles tighten and regain some of their strength that they lost because pregnancy stretched out so much wide and to the front and also way down low. So there are different safe exercises to do to help the diastasis recti improve. It may not ever go away, but you can do certain movements and exercises and activities to help the diastasis recti improve. So just to check it today, one of the interesting facts is that technically, I like that word, anything over 2.5 finger widths. So they're actually talking about 1, 2, so 2.5 finger width. So it would be half of that second finger when you're talking about width. So width would mean you're holding your hand like this. So you have your pointer, middle, and your ring finger, and then you're coming onto the tummy above the belly button. So that would be to check a width. To check depth, you just simply turn the hand, and then you're coming down the center or the midline of the body. This is a little tricky. So actually what you want to do is curve the hand inward, which is really hard to do, but curve the hand inward, and then you're checking for the depth. So width would be wide, and depth would be turning the hand vertical. I do not have diastasis recti, so seeing it on me is going to look a lot different if it's going to happen on someone with diastasis recti. Some cue words for you. when you do the check for the width and for the depth, so when you do approach the abdominal wall, you should feel a trampoline or firmish connective tissue. Okay, so it's like you're going to hit something. If you have diastasis recti, there's more of a sinking in where it just depresses. It depresses inward as if you were taking your fingers into a pillow, and it just kind of sinks right in. And so that's the difference. So if it's a trampoline, that means there's like bouncing, there's a hard fascia there. So my fingers are bouncing, and I'll show you, I'm going to lift up my shirt and show you what it looks like to have that trampoline flesh, firmish bounce. And you can check your width and depth above the belly button, at the belly button, and then below your belly button. Okay, so those are your 3 checkpoints. Above the belly button, at the belly button, and below the belly button. Okay, so so for today, you're just going to do it on your back, and then you can just let me know what you find. There are other ways to check for diastasis recti too, so maybe it's not present on the supine position when you lay down, and there are other ways sometimes that we can check in different positions, but just to check it for yourself today and just teaching you, you'll be laying down. And so when you lay down, make sure you're on something that's going to support you and not feel too hard. Like you don't want to be on the concrete or hard like wood floor or linoleum floor. Like give yourself some padding, whether you're on a carpet or a yoga mat or an exercise mat. Yeah, so let's just give it a try. I'm just going to go above my belly button. It's kind of cold in my garage right now, so when you lay down on your back, you'll come down, you'll have your knees bent. I like to bring my feet in as close as I can to my buttocks. It just feels better, and it's just a normal position in the way I teach things. So when you lay down, you want to expose your belly button. So you're going to roll your shirt up, and then you're going to relax. And so you want to be able to see your belly button, and you want to be able to see your tummy. So we're going to go for the width first, right? So you can start with 1 finger, you can try 2 fingers, or you can try your 3 fingers. So you're going to try some width and just see what you find. So to get started, you're slowly going to contract and lift up. So there's going to be some firming here in the abdominal cavity, because we're checking to see if there's a firm bounce or if there's sinking in. So we're going to turn our hand sideways, and then above the belly button, you're just poking. And you're seeing, does my hand depress in, or is there a wall? Is there a wall there that's going to stop my fingers from going in? So you can check there, you can check at the belly button, and then you can check again below. Okay, just make sure you move your pants out of the way. Okay? Take a minute to just feel around and explore. So you're right on the midline of the body. That means if you were to divide your body in half from top down, that's your midline. So you're exploring in this crunched up position, okay? That way you have a firm wall, hopefully. You can pause the video too if you want, right here, if you're still feeling around. So next, let's check and see if there's a depth of any kind. So you can use your 2 fingers or your 3 fingers again. You're going to curve them downward toward you, and you're going to find your midline on the belly button. Come up above the belly button. Before you press, lift up into that crunch position, and just see, is there a firm trampoline-like feel? Come down, explore to the belly button. Explore below, make sure your pants are out of the way. So if there's a wall there, you're probably not dealing with diastasis recti. If you're feeling that depression where your fingers just sink right in, then you have some type of diastasis recti. And if you have over 2.5 widths, so 2.5 finger widths, so if at least these 2 fingers are going in and depressing in, plus a little bit more of the next finger or more, because you could have a 4 finger, right, width, so that's possible. So that's how you measure. They're actually just using fingers to measure for width. They're not getting a tape measure and like doing centimeters or millimeters. They're actually just using like finger width. So that's what I know to teach on how to check for diastasis recti. I hope this is helpful. I hope it saves you a trip to the physician's office. But if you're unsure, one of the things that is wonderful, we have pelvic floor PTs and you have general physical therapy. So you could call your primary care physician and just say, hi, I think I'm dealing with some diastasis recti. I want to learn more about this. I think I should get a PT evaluation. One of the best things that I tell people to do if they have any leaking, any signs of pelvic floor prolapse, so if there's coughing or sneezing with any leaking urination, if it's hard to pass stool, if it's hard to pass a fart or pass gas, or if it's really easy to pass gas, like you can't hold it in, or the stool comes out too easy, there's no holding it in, or signs of things like a tampon. If you have a tampon in and it always feels like it's going to fall out, or if you use a menstrual cup, if it always feels like it's going to drop out, or it does drop out. So these are all signs that you want to go see a pelvic floor physical therapist and have them evaluate you, find out where the strengths are, where the weaknesses are. Is there a balance? Is there an imbalance? Do I have diastasis recti? What are my measurements? And have someone doing these measurements. There are internal measurements that a pelvic floor PT will do, and then you can have someone like me in your life where you have all of these measurements, you have an awareness after leaving the pelvic floor PT, and then you come work with someone like myself, and then I can take you through all of these conditioning exercises and to be able to move through them safely without that leaking, or without that toot sneaking out, or without having such an increase in pressure. This is all about thoracic cavity pressure. You know, how do we manage the pressure in the pelvic cavity and in the intrathoracic cavity? And so that's what I'm really good at, helping you find out how to make that progression to improve, and then go back every 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. You'll go back to your pelvic floor PT, you'll get your measurements again, find out, is there any improvement? Am I not getting improvement? What's happening? And how do we find that balance for you? So that's what I'm here for, and this is what I love to do. I love exercise. I love helping people on the minute level, and taking things really slow, and not making you feel like, oh, you should be doing 25 burpees in a row with 30 push-ups, and your deadlifts need to be a certain amount. So, you know, let's go back to these building blocks, improve the pressure in your thoracic cavity, because that mom pooch that I think that was the term that was used the other day, that mom pooch is a sign of poor pelvic pressure and intrathoracic pressure. And so there are lots of different things we can do to find out where the strengths are, where the weaknesses are, where the imbalances are, and how do we help it become more balanced and improve that pressure management by strengthening the right muscles and getting the ones that are turned on too much, which are usually along the backside, not always, but usually, you know, getting those to relax more so that we can manage that pressure in this whole cavity and help you feel better and more confident and move through life a little bit more comfortably and easily. So I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, thoughts, or comments. I'm here to help. Tuesdays I teach yoga at 301 Strong. It's at 4:30 p.m. and I'd be happy to sneak in a little bit more pelvic work. But I'd love to get to know you if you think that's something that you want to do more of. That way I know the right things to do for you if I do an evaluation on you. So that would be great. I hope this is helpful, Yesenia. Have a great night, and let me know if you have any questions. My phone number is 301-659-1622, and you can text me anytime, or contact me through Facebook or email, because I'll be sending you some of this stuff through email. All right, have a good night. Thank you.